Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I'm for ESA the official contact point towards UNFCCC, and I will give you a brief overview of how ESA is engaged with UNFCCC. We began to work with the UN Convention of Climate Change in 2001, so more than 20 years ago. And since 2002, we are present at the UNFCCC Conference of Parties, or shorter COP, or let's say in the more common language, the World Climate Conferences, which are happening each year. And we are there as an intergovernmental observer organization. We started with our support towards the Kyoto Protocol that was related to forestry and deforestation. In 2006, with COP11 in Montreal, the term RED was coming up. RED standard there for reducing emissions from deforestation. Later on, they added another D and put as well not only deforestation, but as well forest degradation, then a plus to include other areas around the forest. That was for many years the main activity. Then we were coming up with the ESA's Climate Change Initiative, which is today contributing towards the essential climate variables, more than 50 defined by GCOS, the Global Climate Observing System, and about close to half of it we are contributing and working on within our climate change initiative. These are essential climate variables in the land, in the ocean, in the atmosphere, and as well in the cryosphere domain. And of course, we are cooperating with other space agencies. Their CEOs has to be mentioned, the Committee of Earth Observation Satellite System, and with a dedicated joint working group on climate, and coordinating there as well with the meteorological organization. With this, we are contributing overall towards what in UNFCCC terms is called systematic observations. And I think what you saw during these 2 days are mainly based on results from systematic observation. Only when you observe in certain schemes with high temporal frequency, then you are able to see changes. And these changes are then put into towards models combined with in situ and so on. You saw many examples today and yesterday related to this. Just recently, we led the coordination of the Systematic Observation Synthesis Report, which was an input towards the global stocktake. Global stocktake is one of the elements of the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement, real milestone in 2015, where finally the world community agreed that we have to do something related to climate change. So what are these? During my first COP, we had a small booth. People were coming, ESA, what's ESA standing for then? Space Agency. Why are you as a space agency here at this climate conference? Then you start explaining satellites, observing Earth, the environment, changes, and yeah, that makes sense. Today, nobody is asking and questioning any why we are there at the climate conference. And our key objectives are to showcase and strengthen the role of Earth observation with respect to climate change, with respect to the implementation of the Paris Agreement with the global stocktake. As well, to highlight that sustained long-term satellite observations based on the Copernicus program, based on the Sentinels are key elements for the implementation of these international policies. We are also demonstrating the use of Earth observation related to the global stocktake, promote, of course, our programs, and demonstrate and showcase Earth observation and the influence generally of space-based activities related to climate resilience, climate change mitigation and adaptation. So what were we doing at COP in Dubai? For the first time, we had a dedicated, larger ESA pavilion. And that gave us the opportunity not to have just one or two side events, but a program which was covering more or less all and every activities what we are doing from our ESA with respect to climate change. And one of these events was organized related to EO and climate by Rochelle. She was here participating in this. Where is she? Oh, over there. I didn't see you behind at the board. A lot of other organizations, international organization, FAO, World Health Organization, UNEP, were there. We were using it to finally signed an agreement between ESA and UNEP on further cooperation. And I think that is as well a platform where EO and Health can build on for further activities. We were presenting at the Earth Information Day with our director at the high-level introduction and the head of the climate office in the mitigation session, which for me is related to our activity, is the biggest showcase what we are doing in the direction of climate change. We were organizing and participating in many side events as well related to health. We had methane side events. We have events related to contributing towards the so-called national determined contributions, the voluntary contributions within of countries within the Paris Agreement, and overall big networking and looking for to find partners to go in the same direction and combating climate change. We are mainly contributing towards with the observations towards reporting and verification. And if there is no reporting and if there's no verification, you cannot implement any policy. We see with the sequence of the IPCC assessment report, where the 6th edition was coming out during the last 2 years, the increased importance of satellite data in the general understanding of climate change. Within these last 2 days, you saw many examples which were related to climate change, expanding the tropics and therefore towards the north, towards our latitude. And we heard about the spreading of vector diseases like the West Nile virus. We heard from the Baltic Sea with the lower salinity and some outbreak related of cholera. Wildlife in Canada or Indonesia, where the smoke is then bringing serious health problems towards the population, and many more. Most of those are taking their information based on combinations of several EO sensors, mainly time series, in situ data, and some models which bring all these together to predict how diseases spread further, where there are hotspots and so on. Within our programs, we will further support these kind of activities, not only climate change, but as well dedicated towards health. And I think this workshop formed a perfect basis for further cooperation. And Stefano, myself, and all my colleagues are looking forward to fill this future cooperation with life, with projects where we can do and work together. Thanks a lot.